Hi everybody! Today is going to be a very special video because I'm not traveling anymore. I'm actually back from my solo expedition since almost a year now. Although I'm still in Rafiki, my Toyota Hilux, to record this video. I spent 29 months on the road, 2.5 years. I traveled across Europe, some parts of Africa, and then through the Middle East, before being back to Europe. With my car, a Rafiki, this Toyota Hilux. I spent a total of 18 months overlanding across southern and eastern Africa. And recently I've been sharing a lot of videos on my YouTube channel about all the beautiful humans I have met on the way. I will never find the right words to explain you how I feel and my emotions and sensations at the moment, because there is not enough words. It's just unexplainable. I will never forget this adventure in Africa because it was extraordinary. I think it was the most beautiful moments I have ever experienced in my life. I have never felt so alive and aligned with what I want, what I truly am, and what I expect from life. And although this adventure has been beautiful and powerful and meaningful, it also had some challenges. And obviously I'm traveling on my own for such long periods of time, and I knew I would have probably faced some trouble and challenges at some point, and it's part of the game. I mean, anywhere on the planet, sadly, nobody is safe, and at the same time, the world is beautiful. The truth is that I always tend to focus on the positive rather than the negative, although all types of experiences are positive at the end because it helps you to grow and to understand things and to protect yourself. So all the small issues or bigger problems, not a lot though, I have met on the road, helped me to shape my gut and my self-protection and stuff. It was not important to me to share them. I mean, when some of the biggest problems happened at the time, yes, I remember I was sharing some parts of it on social media, but then there is no need to just talk about it all over again, especially because sadly the biggest problems I have met in my whole expedition, I mean Africa and the Middle East together, happened in one specific country. That's very bad luck, but also have an explanation for that, but I will tell you later. And friends of mine as well, shitty problems in France and Europe, tons of problems. So it's everywhere on the planet. I don't want to categorize one country or one continent or anything, because this is, sorry, bullshit. It's just sometimes it's bad luck. You meet the bad person at the wrong time, at the wrong place, or you're even in the wrong mood or, a situation and stuff. And then it creates bad memories. With this video, I do not want to blame the country I'm going to talk about and the people from this country. It's just bad luck. It's very important to say that before going ahead with my story, because this country in particular has been, to me, one of the most beautiful and fascinating countries I have explored during this expedition. When I'm going to tell you the name of it, I mean, you already probably saw the name on the title, but it's just an incredible country. So the country I'm talking about, and where sadly I had to face some difficult situations, is Namibia. It's a country I would have never imagined to pronounce next to problems. I traveled Namibia for the first time back in 2020. I actually rented a Toyota Hilux when I was in Johannesburg in South Africa. And then I drove all over South Africa, and then I entered Namibia. I think I stayed in Namibia around 3-4 weeks or something before entering Botswana. And this was my very, very first overlanding adventure in Africa. And I had an amazing time in Namibia. I will always remember my very first impressions and emotions when I found myself in the Namib Desert, somewhere near Sossusvlei, or on the Skeleton Coast, or in Stipskope, one of my favorite places. This country is just, it doesn't look real. It's too beautiful to be real. It's a beautiful country, and the people I met amazing people anywhere in Namibia, very welcoming, very happy to see you, always keen to help you, to know where you're from, and curious about who you are and why you're here and your intentions and everything. And it's always beautiful, like connection, human connections. It gave me actually the wish to come back and to prepare the solo expedition a year and a half later. During the solo expedition, I obviously wanted to make my way to Namibia. If you follow my YouTube channel, the video I shared last week was about the time I had malaria and I was in Botswana during the rainy season. It was a very tough moment. But today, looking back, I'm still alive. I'm very glad I could have this auto test to test myself and to have this curative treatment with me and heal me from malaria as soon as possible. Headache or stomach pain, hallucinations, fever, feeling dizzy and stuff. All these disappeared after 10, 11 days. And at the same time, I met a couple from the UK, Matt and Lucy. They are bikers and they were traveling across Africa and the Middle East, more or less the same thing as me. If you follow me since a while, you know that I hate traveling with people because I don't see the point. It's very personal. I'm not judging or anything. But to me, it doesn't make sense to travel with foreigners, you know, especially when you're in Africa. I mean, this place is so beautiful and intense that I didn't want to feel polluted, not polluted, but I don't want to be mean or anything, but I really hope you understand what I'm saying. I needed to find myself completely disconnected. That's the reason why you almost never saw me traveling with people, because it's not what I was looking for. You're going to think I'm very rude, but sometimes I remember like people messaging me, travelers, oh yeah, we saw you here, like maybe we can travel together for like X amount of time, or maybe we can just meet there or there. And I'm a bad liar, but I was, oh no, but you know, now like I try to escape, not because I don't want to see them, but because I needed this time to be alone. We're all different, but when you decide to travel alone, it's for a specific reason. At least to me, it was for a specific reason. So if I'm alone, it's because I need this time on my own. That's it. When I had malaria, it was a very different story, because even though I had no more symptoms and stuff, I felt very weak for like weeks after malaria. I was feeling very different sometimes. I had not the same reaction. It took a little bit of time. So maybe it's not a bad idea just to cross the border with them. We were January 2023. We entered Namibia. We drove the whole Caprivi strip. After a few days, we split. Very healthy relationship. I told them, guys, I need a little bit of time on my own. Maybe we can just travel Namibia on and off, because I knew after Namibia, it was the end of their adventure. So obviously they went their way, I went my way. And I think it was a very bad idea, because the place where we split was Otavi, and from Otavi the plan was to drive towards Uis. The roads in between those two towns are quite empty. I mean, it's a very long stretch of nothing, straight roads, bush, nothing else. You have like sometimes one or two cars, but that's it. So I was driving, and obviously I was still, recovering. Normally I'm very energetic and I'm very quick with everything I do. And at the time I remember I was like, it cost me every time to do something. And I remember I was not even 60 kilometers per hour, because I had to stop on the road a few times to just chill or stretch my legs, or I don't remember what. So I was driving, and I could see from far a guy on the road with like a machine or something, probably for the speed limit, a police guy. And then in the bush, I could notice a police car. I was very slow, so he had the time to see me. And last minute, he waved at me and asking me to park on the side. So I was okay. And in my head, I was like, maybe I'm driving too slow. I parked Rafiki. This guy was quite young. It was, I think, I would say my age. Well, I'm not that young anymore, but you know what I mean. So I opened the window, and then he looked at me. He's like, oh, you're one. You're alone. You're one. And not even hi, hello, how are you? Nothing. You're one. You're alone. Are you alone? And I'm like, yes, with a big smile. Normally, anywhere in the world, but I travel Africa and the Middle East. So I'm talking about these two regions because this is where I traveled. Every time someone is asking me like information or whatever, I always try to be very confusing. I don't want to give too much information. And that's also the reason why I was posting on internet, social media, with a month and a half of delay, because you need to be strategic for your safety. All that to say that, for example, I've been stopped by fake police as well in Tanzania, or corrupted police, and every time they ask me where you go, blah, blah, I don't tell the truth. I sometimes say like an opposite direction. Whereas at this moment, when this guy asked me if I was alone, I was, oh yes, like I am stupid. And then he was like, okay, give me your paper and get out of the car. And I was so confused. But why? It's like, because you are speeding. And I promise you, if I speed with 60 kilometers per hour, everyone is speeding. So I was, okay, interesting. But I didn't say anything. I was like, oh yeah, of course, wait for me. Like something you will never see me doing especially in some parts in Africa, because I know how it works sometimes. Sorry, but sometimes I don't believe the police. But this moment I was like, no problem. So I opened my things, I took my wallet, I took my phone, and I got out of the car like this. Even though it was not making sense at all, because I was not speeding. Getting out of the car and walking towards this guy, and this guy was like, no, you have to go to that guy there behind the bush with the police car. And I kept on walking towards them, and everything went very quickly. I felt like something was wrong, so I tried to record with my phone if anything happens. But I was very weird, because I was still walking their directions instead of walking back to Rafiki. This policeman, the young guy who stopped me, so he was recording me. And the other guy, the oldest guy who was by the car, asked me weird questions, and I got upset. I think I got upset against me first, because I was like, what the hell are you doing here? I knew they were playing with me, and something was very wrong. And the guy said something else. I got upset. I was like, be careful, I'm recording. They're actually filming me. No, he's filming me. No. Give my phone. And obviously, when I said that, he pushed me, and he tried to hit me with the elbow on my chest. So I tried to hit him back. Obviously, they have guns and stuff. And he grabbed my phone straight away. And I was like, give my phone back. He was playing with my phone. No. And I'm like, give my phone back. It's not funny. It's my personal belongings. You don't have the right. He's like, listen to me. I'm the policeman. I have all the rights. And I know you don't have the rights. And the other one was still recording me. And at this moment, it was not fun anymore. I don't know how long, like the minutes and stuff, probably not long. So we were by the bush, 15 meters away from the road. And this Toyota Hilux drove very slowly, because I think he saw the situation. The guy opened the window and he was looking at us. I don't know who was this guy. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you. I didn't understand. I was just thinking of saving my life. The oldest guy got like frozen like this, looking at the guy, and the other one as well. While he was frozen, I was grabbing my phone back and I walked straight to Rafiki. I was not running, because very weird, I couldn't run. I remember walking like with all my strength, but so slow. So I think I got a bit scared, I don't know, and I could walk to Rafiki. They didn't even try to walk after me, and I drove straight. I don't even know who was this guy, what he was doing here. He maybe saved my life. I don't know what would have happened with these guys. I think I'm going to report them at the police. They were policemen, but I'm going to report them anyway. They were very rude. They were threatened. They threatened me, saying, oh yeah, you'll be in trouble, blah blah blah. I tried my best to reach police stations, but nobody's answering. The only police station who answered me is the police station located in Windhoek, and so I told them what just happened and everything. So they were very shocked, because this normally doesn't really happen. They just wanted to make sure that the police is not corrupt and that it's real police. For me, it was real police, no doubt. I had to hide my face with my driving license, because I didn't want them to film me, So I was very very shocked, to be honest. I'm very, very shocked, very shocked. I would have never imagined to have this kind of trouble in Namibia. I kept on driving and I was shaking because my chest was, I think he hit me hard. So my chest was painful, and I think I got also very tense from the situation. So all my muscles were like very tense. And then I saw a checkpoint just before Ochiwarongo, another town with like military guys and policemen and stuff. I wanted to stop and to tell them, but I was crying. I remember a police guy was like, "We don't understand what you're saying," because I was crying very much, and they felt very embarrassed. And I think they were very touched to see me crying as a lady alone in a car and stuff, and with a foreign vehicle. I think it was a military or police guy, I don't really remember. He's like, "Okay, you go to this address, there is a police station, you have to go there, you have to tell them the story, this is not good what happened to you, they don't have the right." So now I'm actually heading to the police station nearby here. There was like a checkpoint, and so I was telling the story to two policemen, and they were shocked. So they were like, "You have to, don't waste your time, go straight to the nearest police station, which is in like 3 kilometers, 4 minutes." And they were like, "Tell your story and they're going to help you." But I'm shocked, like really, like I was crying in front of them. I couldn't stop crying. I think it's because, you know, it's all the pressure and everything is normal. But yeah, it's so annoying. You don't treat people this way. So I just arrived at the police station. And I'm going to explain the situation. I keep you guys posted. The people there didn't really take me seriously. I had this feeling, and they were all ladies, so I was like, come on, like with women we can support each other sometimes. I was a bit shocked. They didn't really feel like touched by my story, but anyway, I was like in my world, and I was, you know. But then they like, "Oh yeah, wait for the," I don't remember his name, like a sheriff or something. And this man came. He was an amazing man. He made me feel very, very comfortable. He took the time to really listen to me. He was very professional. So I talked to him quite freely. He didn't get surprised by my story. The whole process took like 3 hours. They had to write the statements. I had to sign. They took like what happened like very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. They felt very sorry for me. They were very nice. Hopefully they can do something. They really cared about it. So I've got the number of the guy. They're going to call me back and to maybe to ask for more information and stuff. So yeah, after 3 hours in the police station and the office, whatever it is, I'm back on the road. And also, yeah, I'm tired. So yeah, I need to maybe find something on the road. I don't know. I will never know what would have happened. Probably nothing. Probably something. I have no idea. Of course, now we are 2 years later. It's easier for me to tell you the story. A few days later, I finally met again with Matt and Lucy, and it was nice to be with them again. They were actually a big, big help during my time in Namibia. We had some very nice off-road sessions and wild camping, and it was amazing.
Texas is maybe 20. Go, 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 go!
Okay, that's not for me. For my birthday, 23rd of January, we decided to go to the coast. We wanted to stay in Swakopmund. It's very touristic, very, very nice little coastal town. We decided to spend one night in Tiger Reef. We celebrated my birthday, just the three of us.
Every time I never know what you are. Meat? Potato. It's very chewy.
Birthday There you go.
I had a very good knife. It was like my black knife I bought just before the adventure. It was my self-defense knife at the same time. So we used it for that night for my birthday, and we cut the meat. And the following morning, we saw like steps all around my car, and I couldn't find my knife anymore. I know it sounds silly, and now I don't care about my knife anymore. But at the time, I was a bit sad because it was a symbol to me. So we find out that the guy who stole my knife was the security guard of the camping. This was not the first time it happened. A guy on the same night was also staying at the camping, a South African guy, and he got robbed. It's okay. I mean, some people, they have to survive. Some people, they have to find ways to just... I'm not justifying anything. I have a passport where I can go anywhere in the world. I had a nice job. I could finance this car. I could realize my dream. I'm not someone to be complained. Other people, they have to survive. Other people, they have to find strategy to put food in their kids' mouth. I'm quite privileged and I have no rights to blame anybody or anything. But the people who actually run the campsites, they were not nice. I think they're from South Africa, and the lady was not cooperative at all. She was lying to me, to us. The cleaning lady, she was much more cooperative and amazing than the girl who ran the campsite and was So after all this happening and stuff, I didn't want to go wild camping the night coming, even though I was with my friends. They went back to the desert, and I wanted to make my way to Walvis Bay, which is an hour away from Swakopmund. It's another coastal, very nice coastal town. This morning when I woke up, actually Lucy was like, "Oh, Charline, where is your knife?" This knife is always in the door, driver side, because if anything happened to me, I know it's stupid, but having a knife is, I don't know, I felt, stronger. I use it for like many things because you've got like tools with the knife, so you can do many things with it. The South African guy, Josh, this morning he woke up and he had a speaker, a Bose speaker like this, huge one, and stolen as well. So it's been like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I had malaria, and then I got assaulted by policemen, and now I got robbed. It's a lot of things in 2 weeks, especially in Namibia, because I would have never imagined. I'm very pissed off, and I think I'm going to change my plans. It was a very nice drive. It's along the ocean, and wow, it's so beautiful. And I had the scent coming with the wind coming on the road, creating something very mystical, and I loved it. And I was okay. I'm going to spoil myself and just to go to a lodge tonight, because I was now I'm telling you the story with a smile and like nothing happened and stuff, but I promise you at the time I was not smiling. And it was very also difficult for my family and my parents, because obviously they're not here with me, they're very far away, and they hear me crying and being anxious. So I went to town and I parked on the parking because I need some vitamins. I need to, to keep going, because in my head I was a bit not desperate, but very sad. I went to a supermarket. I bought me some vitamins, and then I went back to Rafiki. I remember I put all my groceries on the passenger seat, and I put my phone here, like now, on the car holder, and I called my mom, and I'm, getting out from the parking space. And while I'm getting out from the parking space, I see this car, black car, driving straight in front of me. And I'm like, okay, well, fine, it's fine. Huh? I mean, it's okay. And driving backwards. And I'm like, ah! So I was like, what is he doing? So when I saw that, instead of honking, I reversed, because I was a shit. But when I was reversing, another same type of car was behind me. When I reversed, I bumped the other car behind, but slowly, but still. I felt so ashamed, so embarrassed. And then straight away, it was only men from the car in the front and the car in the back. They get out of the car and they came to me like so angry. And I'm like, I'm sorry. The car at the back was completely broken and damaged. And in my head, I was like, no, sorry, sir, I couldn't do that. I was so slow. No, it's not me. Don't tell me that. And straight away, the way they were overreacting and quite violent in their words and the way they were with me and stuff, I was like, okay, maybe it's not what I think happened. And I quickly understood more or less the situation. I went back to the car because I got scared. Keep in mind that I still had my malaria thing and I was still feeling weak and I was still feeling like a bit, I got into the car. I don't know how I could do that because they were all over me and they wanted me to get out of the car, but I didn't want to. I was like paralyzed. I was, no, I can't. So I stayed like this. My mom was still on the phone. She was hearing everything. She doesn't speak English, but she was hearing me. Apparently she told me that I was screaming. I don't remember. I didn't know what to do. So I basically tried to get out and to drive anyway. But to drive, I had to push the car in front of me. So I tried to find a way to slowly go on the side. In this kind of situation, you don't think of filming and YouTube. YouTube is, you see, I'm posting now, so I don't care about YouTube at the time. I care about my adventure, about my real life. I don't care about like making, voila. I basically tried to get out, and obviously I touched the car in front. They were even more pissed off. Some of them, they started to climb on the Rafiki, on the tent. They wanted to break my tent. They were jumping on it. Some of them, they sat on the bonnet. They were shaking my car on the side. And the guy from the gate, I think he was a friend of the guys, and he closed the gate. And then 3 minutes later, very quick, the police came. He asked me to get out of the car and he asked me to do the test, for the alcohol test. But the truth is, I don't drink alcohol. And I was like, what is this scenario? I had the sensation I was observing the situation. It was too big, no sense. There are some details I don't want to tell you because it's just a bad luck, Again, it was just the law of series since I had malaria. I was, okay, what's the hell? Like, what the hell is going on? And this guy, a second time, asked me to do the alcohol test. And he's like, oh yeah, no, it's negative. I'm like, yeah, I don't drink. And then he's like, yeah, but you have to go to the police station. I had to follow them to the police station. I had to drive behind the police and the two cars of the guys behind me. They didn't want to talk to me at the police station, so I had to wait at the police station. It was a very weird atmosphere there, to be honest. They didn't ask me anything. I was just here, left apart. The policeman came to me and he's like, okay, if you don't want to have any problems, better for you to follow me and we are going to withdraw some money. But he didn't want me to drive Rafiki. He wanted me to go into his car with one of the guys of the car, the two cars. They brought me to the nearest ATM and they asked me to withdraw Namibian dollars. And I did. There are some things I don't really want to talk about because I don't want to. After this situation, the third situation, I was broken. I called my parents again. They couldn't believe their eyes. Something happened to me again. And especially in Namibia, which is one of the safest countries in Africa. And it is. In 2020, I had no problems at all. But yeah, bad luck. And my parents, they got worried. Since then, my mom, she couldn't properly sleep. Me neither. I was becoming paranoid. I locked myself into the room for a few days. I was scared of everything and I was, for the first time, thinking of stopping the adventure. I wanted to go back to Europe. It's not I wanted to be back to Europe because the same shit is happening everywhere, but I think I needed my family and my parents, and for the first time I needed to be surrounded by people I know. Matt and Lucy, they were not far away. They knew. I called them straight away. They wanted to come, but I told them I want to stay on my own. I want to process the whole thing, and I think I needed my parents. And I was very